Alrighty, welcome back. It's a grand final, say less footy preview of the grand final, both grand finals, NRL and NRLW. Now, two amazing games coming at you this Sunday. We're going to go through the teams and have a look at a few positions, a few key positions, what might turn. Both games are still an absolute coin flip. Just so hard to pick. I don't even know who I'm going for yet, to be honest. Stick around to the end. We've got a couple of cheeky little same game multis for you. Try and make a little bit of cash on the game. But let's go. The big one. Let's start with NRL. We'll do NRLW afterwards. But Panthers versus Broncos, the two best teams of the year. Both full strength, no injuries. Maybe Jerome Luai and Isaac Tungle are carrying niggling, or still recovering from their injuries, but both teams full strength. I mean, all you have to do is look at their extended reserves and see, the likes of Corey Oates, Tyrone Peachy, Zach Hosking has been an absolute stalwart in his first season for the Panthers this year and is on the extended reserves. Experience of Marty Tapau as well, and a few young guns in Jock Madden, Luke Summerton missing out as well. But yeah, the teams from 1 to 17 just absolutely stacked. The fullbacks, Edwards up against Walsh, Mr. Reliable against Mr. X Factor. The other back four, like Tony Staggs, Stephen Crichton, Brian Toto, Selwyn Cobbo, Herbie Farmworth, the rookie of the year, Sonny Taruba, absolutely stacked. Reynolds up against Cleary is a great matchup. Luai up against Mam. The front rows, the two best front row of the year, hands down. And you're gonna have to include the hookers in there, Mitch Kenny and Billy Walters. They've been so good and so reliable. You know, if you think about the start of the year, you're looking at your Damien Cooks and your Appy Coruscaws, but these two boys have been the absolute standouts for this year, alongside Wade Egan for the Warriors, and Payne Haas, Tom Flegler, Leota, and Fisher Harris. Like this is where the game's going to be won. Who can get the upper hand over each other here? Who's bending the line? It's it's just an absolute fantastic matchup. And then you got the hookers running off the quick play the balls. The second rows, the locks, Carrigan against Yo. I think if you look, say, 2 years ago, Isaiah Yo, maybe even last year, was the premier lock of the competition. Paddy Carrigan, I reckon, has that mantle this season. He's been unbelievable. And for such a young man, very, very good leader. The bench, this is, for me, I was sort of looking at it thinking this is a little bit of a strange one, but maybe there's a little bit of doubt over Luai because they're playing Jack Cogger off the bench. So if Luai does re-aggravate that shoulder injury, then Cogger can come straight in his place, and the Panthers aren't losing anything. So I think it's a smart play from Ivan Cleary. Um, Spencer Leniu, absolute game breaker. Lindsay Smith and Luke Garner. Now, obviously being an old Tigers player, absolutely love Luke Garner, and I've spoken about him before. That he's absolute footy brain, absolutely loves it. But for him to come back in late in the season and sort of push Zach Hosking out of the team, I think that says a lot about what Ivan Cleary thinks of Luke Garner and the professional footballer that he is. If you look at the Broncos bench, I feel like I think Kobe Hetherington is going to play the absolute game of his life. I feel like there's something being building there. I think even last year when the Broncos, weren't doing that well at the back end of the season, when they were doing well during the season, and I think a few times this year it hasn't been a breakout year for him. Like Kobe Hetherington has been very strong. Oh, this is a dead set coin flip. I still don't know. Like you got to think, it's been since the '80s since we've had a three-peat. Is there a dynasty of a team winning three in a row in this Panthers team? Is it all going to come together and be this big history making thing for the NRL? Are the Broncos finally coming back as this powerhouse with all these young, exciting players to sort of ruin that sort of three-peat? Like, there's so much going on. Like, I think the way the Broncos need to attack this is the way that the Cowboys beat the Panthers early in the season. So defending, trying to go around the Panthers, like they all move together in unison. They all know their role. Their slide defense is absolutely bang on. You need to step back inside, throw an inside ball. You need to disrupt. You need to disrupt their defense and just throw a little spanner in the works so it sort of disrupts their defensive line, and that's how you're going to beat Penrith. Think, with the likes of Reece Walsh sort of circling around the back, I think they need to do that, but he needs to come back on the inside or sort of Reece Walsh creep around the outside and bring one of the wingers back on the inside. That's uh that's a way that's going to unlock the defense, especially with Luai and Tungle probably under a few injury clouds. You're going to need to attack that area. For me, the Panthers, obviously, it's just kick pressure, the forwards running hard, and just do the Panthers don't need to go away from their game plan that how they always win. They just pressure, pleading high, and just kick chasers, turn the defenses around, put them on their backs, just basically strangle them down. I mean, look, it's not pretty, but it works. And if everyone's doing their role and making their tackles and doing what they need to do, then the Panthers will win this. This is going to be a fantastic game. Like, I honestly, my heart, I'm from Brisbane. My heart says Brisbane, but I just feel like, every now and again, there is a dynasty in sport, and this could be. So I honestly hedge your bets however you want, but look, I want to say Brisbane just because I think a competition's too boring if a team is too dominant. And I just think, yeah, it'd be really good for the Broncos. Haven't won a premiership since 2006. Be nice to sort of break up the monotony of that. Let's move on now to the NRLW grand final. And this is, oh, a mouth-watering matchup. The Knights up against the Titans. The Titans, first ever Gold Coast team to make a grand final, like men's or women's. Both team are absolutely stacked, but I think especially over the last few weeks and especially last week in the semi-finals, the two fullbacks, Tamika Upton and Ivania Palidi, absolutely just dynamite and were the difference in and their teams making the grand final. Both teams absolutely stacked. Their captains, Jesse, sorry, not Jesse, Hannah Southwell and Georgia Hale are keys, absolute keys to this. Just the way that you're going to find aggression in offense and defense. They just both are leaders. They lead from the front. They take the tough carries. They make their tackles, and they make their other teammates, especially around the forward pack, just really follow them into battle. That's an absolutely fantastic matchup. The halves as well, Jesse Southwell and Lauren Brown. That's going to be a fantastic matchup as well. And I'm loving the back line. Like a couple of my favorite little players in there, and Chapman and Strange and Destiny Minnow Party. She's been absolute dynamite, try scoring machine. This is such a good game. Oh, Riley Jorgensen has been fantastic off the bench as well. Was nominated for Rookie of the Year. Steph Hancock is just an absolute machine. Will just come on, eat up the meters. Yasmin Clydesdale has been so good for the Knights as well. There's so many good players, and just Shannon Maddow, I haven't even spoke about her for the Titans. Like, just one of the forwards of the season. This is going to be so good. And look, I wrote the Titans off last week against the Roosters, and they came out and they just were just too big and strong and didn't give them an inch. Like the Knights sort of played out this high scoring game with the Broncos. I don't want to write the Titans off again. Like as I said, it's just like the men's. It's a coin flip. Tamika Upton is just she's the Dalian Player of the Year, and I in my last video I forgot to give her a shout out. What an outstanding season for Tamika Upton. She is, she's well worth that Dalian medal, and she really reminds me of just her X factor and just her running game, the way she sort of moves her body and breaks tackles. She does remind me a lot of Kalen Ponga. She like if you take her out of this Knights team, I say I'm taking the Titans. Like I want to lean towards the Titans. This is honestly another coin flick as well. The Knights won last year. Look, I want to see the underdog wins and I want to see the Titans win. So hopefully the Titans can do it. All right, it's time for punt of the week, and I've got a couple of juicy ones for you on the grand final here. Now, as I said, it's a bit of a coin flip, so I didn't want to go win or lose here. So we've gone a couple of same game multis for you. So here's the first one. We've got Broncos first to 10 points. So I think the Broncos need to start very quickly, but the Panthers do come home very well. So I've got Nathan Cleary to score 8+ points, Ryan To'o with an anytime try scorer, Sonny Taruva anytime try scorer into Jesse Arthur's anytime try scorer. That's a five legger for you get about 50 on that one. So that's a decent one. And I've got a big one here for you. Let's just throw the absolute let's throw some cash at this one. Let's get a big one. My second same game multi here. Anytime try scorers: Sonny Taruva, Stephen Crichton, Katoni Staggs, Paddy Carrigan with a try. The try scoring machine, I think he's got two this season and over 38.5 in the match. And that'll get you 191 to 1. Chuck a cheeky tenner on that. Also, my other little one is I think, especially whether the Broncos win or if it's very close, I think Paddy Carrigan gets the Clark Churchill. I feel like he's the sort of guy that they would give it to. Everyone always thinks it's going to be the star halfback, but it's always just someone a little bit left of center. And I think Paddy Carrigan, with the meters, the offloads, the way he's leading his team around, and the tackles he's going to be making, I think he's penciled in for the Clive Churchill. Wow, it's going to be absolutely exciting tomorrow. Let me know who you're taking down in the comments. Um, Yeah, what a year. What a game. What a bunch of games. Tomorrow's going to be absolutely huge. Cannot wait. If you made it to the end of the video, you're an absolute fucking legend. I will have another video next week and we will come back and dissect the grand finals. Thanks for making it this far. If you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok at Say Less Footy Pod and Instagram at Say Less Footy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Say less. Peace out.